Alright guys, here we go. Already in the next series, we got Dragon Phoenix Gamer, Hero, in the top left side of Berlingrad. Next best of 3 versus the Blue Terran from Team NV. It is Bunny. Alright, we're working on getting a co-caster in here as well at the same time. Double D B Choi. A familiar name. Not someone I've had the pleasure of interacting with too much already. Actually, at all, I imagine. But it's always a fun time meeting some new folk. Some other StarCraft 2 people. And it's nice to have, you know, in these long days, someone to kind of talk to bounce back and forth between. So we're working on that. Probably gonna happen right after either this game or this match. We'll see, we'll see. What's this? We're zooming in on the refinery. A doggo. The doggo, of course. The dog, very important. It is the dog map, after all. Hero and Bunny. A lot can happen between these two. Bunny, one of those players, such as Keen, Gumiho, Dream, right? You always not quite sure how well they're going to be doing that day. And DRG versus Trap is on the Some Drunk Canadian channel. Cure versus Zest. I'm not sure if that's being broadcast right now. Oh, we got a bunker. Two bunkers. Safety bunker and an offensive bunker. Bunny not taking any risks for his Reaper. Just to make him feel safe and sound wherever he can be. Twilight Council play from Hero. Will result into the Blink play coming up here. Wait and see how many gateways he decides to make with this. So far, no shield battery here, though, so I don't think he was too aware of this bunker up until now. Might be able to still deal with it with just the Stalkers, but it's definitely much more of a hassle. A lot more micro involved and a lot more back and forth prodding and poking. Manages to deal with it rather nicely. Doesn't lose many of his probes. Bit of shield damage on that Nexus, but you know what? That is all rechargeable. Get that back for free. Oh, cancel there. Not entirely certain. Looked like a barracks cancel, perhaps. Maybe I'm mistaken. 75 minerals. Could have been a supply depot. Robo coming up afterwards for Hero. So far, we're not on many gateways just yet. I believe that is the second gateway coming up right now, and the third. Going up to 3 of them. Before any third base attempts are made. Last ditch effort of that Reaper to get some scouting. Doesn't get really a lot of information. Bunny, though, is set up pretty comfortably. He's seen the Stalkers after all. He's got a siege tank in the main base because of this. Setting up the Widowmine a little bit further forward as well. Probably a nice idea when there's these Stalkers, most likely. That will show up in these types of locations. Might be caught off guard. Give you a heads up about the movement, as well as take out a Stalker, perhaps, right? If Hero doesn't quite pay attention to that area at that time. But a quick robo facility actually behind this. Or, sorry, the support bay. The quick robo bay. Going for a Colossus, alright. Being very passive with his Stalkers, for sure. Now we're starting to get a bit more aggressive. But yeah, he's not really used those 3 gateways at all. More so looking like they were intended as a defensive tool. Sees the Widowmine, nice dodge. Can't catch Hero off guard, it would appear. Charge upgrade as Tim Combat Shield +1 are starting to be halfway done. Bunny will start to consider about heading out, claiming more of that map space. Starting to perhaps pressure the third of the Protoss here. Wouldn't be a bad choice. Seeing that there's not too much on this other side. The Raven getting itself an auto turret harassment of about 3 probes, I would imagine. More going down though. I got 4 of them. Not too shabby. This is where the real kind of fight will occur though, of course. Those siege tanks trying to find their way into a good siege position. Being quite aggressive with the placement of them. But, you know what, he finds them set up quite close by. The Raven's still alive as well. Doesn't really have any energy for a disable on the Colossus, but it's still around. It's going to start harvesting up some more energy here, of course, as well. Positioning with the Terran army, finds the Cyber Core. That's a pretty nice pick-off, but Hero's starting to position himself so he can jump on top of those siege tanks. Take him out quite nicely. On Interference Matrix for the Colossus, though, it may be enough to really push this backwards. The Disruptor doesn't quite manage to stem the bleeding here. Shield battery overcharged, though. A quick spell to make your pains go away. For the time being. That's a tricky situation here for Hero, nonetheless, still. He's losing quite a couple of his gateway forces, his TAC units as well, and he hasn't really suffered any economic damage. It's still a difficult thing for a Protoss to be losing those expensive Protoss units. It's a bit more difficult to get it all rebuilt there as opposed for the Terran. So I imagine the next push here from Bunny, whenever that may be, could be a bit more lethal. Adding in the Ghost Academy, adding in the Vikings also. Not sure if the Ghost will be a part of it, but the Vikings most definitely will be. Sees this 4th base coming down. That might be a good time for him to start heading out. Does he decide to do it though? Doesn't look like it. Wants to build up his own army a little bit further. Couple of extra Ghosts, couple of extra Vikings perhaps. Does do a scan on top of his army. Could be an indicator that he's planning to move out. Often the Terran scans their army trying to hide their own army, right? And when are you thinking about hiding your army? It's when you're trying to move out. Pylon though. Oh, placed. Spots this movement. Another pylon, another spot right there. Some Widowmine drops, finding not too much damage. A little bit of a nuisance still, but good defense there from Hero. Sending up a cannon as well. Preparing for more future Widowmine drops there, perhaps. Yeah, Yeah, without the ghost here, I don't think this is a fight you want to take just quite yet. Just too many zealots right now. We'll get it up in one place. Didn't he have an arm injury in like last GSL like a week ago? Yeah, that's true. He had a cast and everything. Yeah, it got taken off just like a week before the GSL, I believe. So Bunny playing on this level is very impressive. Something broken with his hand, I believe, yeah. Rough thing. Anyway, we got a big fight here. Some nice kiting going down. The Vikings struggling with finding their missiles to have the range into the Colossi. There is just so many zealots kind of zoning away. The rest of the army doesn't want to have the Vikings, I suppose, on top of the Stalkers. Let's go for it this time around, though, and manages to clear out all the Colossi. Disruptor's shot still remains. So no chase is going to be given there. Army supply is still quite close. Shouldn't be a moment where Bunny takes any damage here. It's well set up. It's well spread out. Actually, maybe a little bit too spread out. If he's not too careful, he could lose quite a bit. Okay, a scan does reveal the movement of a hero here, so he's going to be able to respond pretty quickly. Oh, that's what he was doing. All right. Going for the walk around, finds himself that Nexus. A good bit of damage. Definitely a good bit of damage if he manages to contain this threat now as well. The rest of this, he hopefully has enough of an army. Liberators are coming in. Are they still in time? The Bio are taking a bit of damage, but no crucial damage has been taken. SCVs are being pulled. The Disruptors. Okay, one shot manages to connect. Another shot. Not as much luck there. The Liberator seemingly just barely enough to hold on. Even allow him to grab a couple of those Disruptors as Hero is trying to retreat. Solid stuff. Worker counts not too far apart still. A lot of losses have been endured, but they have been endured on both sides. So, economy game still pretty equal footing here. Nice catches on those Liberators. Two of them get shot down instantly by the Stalkers. Very clean stuff. We saw how much they were doing in previous engagements, so the more of those Liberators you can pick off, the better. You know, wiggle his way into any place where he can get a reasonable concave and a reasonable fight going. Has to be careful for those EMPs after all. Already taking quite a beating on his gateway force. Those Archons have been low HP for such a long time. A Colossus waddling his way across the map, finding quite a bit of firepower. Oh, he's trying to get to the rest of the forces. Hero, this is, yeah. He's still, well, he's still on 3 base behind this. He's making probes. Ooh. Yeah. Tough. There's the 4th base. He's still on 3. He's been on 3 base for so long. He wants to at least kill a base of Bunny. After losing that 4th base of his own, he should have been committed here. But he's still being very patient as well. You gotta give it to him for that. The situation he's in can, I imagine, feel rather desperate, and to still take this much time and trying to calculate which way you need to come in. Oh, Widowmine finds a nice hit there. Does seemingly seem like the Protoss Ball is weakening as time is passing by here. Exchanges. Here we're actually going for 2 Nexi. I like this. I mean, he must be feeling that, okay, I'm not going to break him here. I'm not going to be able to pick off another base. He's there any other way I could potentially make a comeback happen here? And it's, well, it's very difficult for Bunny to try and push out now because he has those disruptor shots to worry about as he's moving. So the other side of the map is pretty clear. Hero is in a position where he can just try to gobble up as much of the map as possible and make that economic return. He's starting to find himself on a much more respectable economy right now when comparing him to Bunny. Army tech for Hero is pretty good as well, right? He's got Disruptors, Colossi. I'm pretty sure he has Storm as well. He's got the Archons at least. Tabbing through the tabs. +2/+2. Actually, those upgrades for Hero finishing up here to 3-3. 2-2. Only just finished for Bunny. So that's pretty big, actually. He's got 2 upgrade advantage over his opponent. That's pretty neat. Especially when you're working with this amount of gateway forces. Oh, that's a very tight choke, though. Zealots won't be able to force themselves through here. Again, I feel you have really any business trying to push in here as a Hero. It is just so well locked off. Getting a couple, or attempting a couple of disruptor shots here and there. I suppose always worth it, but oh so careful at the same time not to lose them all. There's just a stim forwards. Finds a couple of units there. And yeah, loses the disruptor for his trouble as well. Massive EMP. So Bunny tries to make the commitment here for the fight. Vikings giving chase again. Both of their armies, not really armies you want to try and push into, as Hero looks like he has kind of triggered Bunny into pushing into a fight he perhaps had no business pushing into. Taking massive disruptor shots. And again, the army for Hero looking a little bit low on the HP as well. Those Archons in particular, of course. EMP is so effective against them. Now a new batch of Zealots is appearing. Though still about 4 disruptors in the mix as well. As the bio is starting to move forwards or backwards. So the nukes gets thrown into the sky. Quite quickly, the Ghost gets killed though, so that nuke won't be making an appearance, but a bit of a valiant effort for Bunny to try and stay alive in this situation here. A very, very rough spot. +3 weapons is about to finish up here for Bunny, but it might be too little, it might be too late. GG, there it is. Game number 1 goes into Hero's favor. Didn't quite work out for him. But it did work out for this Yellow Protoss, Dragon Phoenix Gamers Hero. Bottom left side, there is a Terran. He's fighting for Team NV. It is Bunny. Ooh. Ooh, spicy. Couple of SCVs running across the map, trying to find their way behind the 3rd base mineral line. And there we have it, a barracks, or 2 barracks. Doubt there's going to be a 3rd barracks, but at least 2 barracks will be built here. How much gas do we have being produced? None of it by Bunny. So Bunny just going to start pressuring here with Marines, I imagine. A little bit of a scouting probe, of course. Oh, there we go. There's the double gas. Still, though, you're going to have to start off with the Marines. Probably just going to start a factory. He's going to start a factory at home. That's the next question on my mind. We'll have to wait and see. Now, this is something a lot of Terrans do, of course, right? Just hiding your first initial barracks. You don't really see the double barracks play against the Protoss all that often, and, well, Hero is still respecting it. He did get his Zealot first, so he has a bit of a buffer there. He has a bit of a defensive unit. It's not that great, of course, against multiple Marines, but, you know, it definitely delays your opponent quite a bit. You can have him on the ramp, make it difficult for the Marines to push into him. Alright, force the trade that way with against SCVs and all that stuff. But we'll see. Okay, there's the bunker. Depth. Moving forwards. 2 bunkers, in fact, being produced here. Be careful with those low HP Marines. Trying to micro them backwards and away from the Zealots. Pretty good micro so far from Bunny. Very impressive micro. There's the probes now. Oh dear, that depth very low on the HP as well, but so are the Marines. Good targeting there. Does manage to get it without losing more of his Marines. The probes now having to retreat, as there is a stalker here. Marine doesn't get to the bunkers. As the bunkers are occupied by 2 SCVs, and that's about it. That's about it. Shield batteries there, pylons there, stalkers in front of it. You're not gonna get into this, are you? Factory was built at home, by the way. 2 Marines. Ooh, managed to get their way in here. Then again, like, what's the plan now? There's a shield battery here. You're not... Right? You're not getting anything done. You're not getting anything done. Oh, great targeting. Is he gonna get stuff done? Wait a minute. No. That's the death green of death. The deadly green of death. There it is. GG is called. Hero takes game number 2 as well. A clean sweep.